Hi guys, this is Sadik from TWRP.com, and in this video, we'll show you a new method to flash the Evolution X ROM based on Android 14 onto a Poco F5. So back in March, I had made a video on how you could get this job done, and at that point in time, you just had to flash the TWRP recovery, then flash the HyperOS firmware, and flash the Evolution X ROM, and do a format data, and that was just about it. I had also made a video on the same back in March. As you could see, it was an older video. However, with the latest update, there have been a few changes now, and you cannot or you might not be able to flash the new ROM using the TWRP recovery. There have been a few changes. Now you will have to manually flash the partition img file in their respective partition to get this job done. And in this video, I'll show you how to do so. So please take a backup of all the data on your phone, and then let's get started. The requirements are the same as before, but still let's discuss it one more time. So first off, get hold of Android SDK platform tools from this guide and extract them onto your PC. You may extract them anywhere you want. In my case, I've done the extraction in C drive, and as you could see, these are the files of platform tools. Once you've done the extraction, you will now have to enable USB debugging and OEM unlocking. Debugging is required for ADB command, whereas OEM unlocking is required to unlock the bootloader on your phone. So let's now enable both these toggles. So for that, go to the settings menu on your phone. From settings menu, go to about phone and tap on OS version 7 times. You will get a prompt that you are now a developer. So go back, and then you have to go to additional settings, and you should now see developer option. So go there and enable the toggle next to OEM unlocking as well as USB debugging. You will now get a prompt on your phone. Checkmark I am aware of all the risk, and then you will have to wait for 10 seconds. Once that time frame has elapsed, just tap on OK. And if you are enabling debugging for the first time, you will also get one more prompt. Again, tap on OK. And with this, debugging is now enabled. Let's verify the same. So go to the address bar of platform tools, type in CMD and hit enter. This will launch command prompt inside platform tools directory, as you could see. So type in ADB devices and verify that you're getting an ID. If you are not getting any ID, not an issue. Simply unplug and replug your phone from the PC once again. And now disable and re-enable USB debugging. And again, you might have to checkmark I am aware of all the risk and then tap on OK. And now the debugging should be enabled on our phone. So let's verify the same. As you could see, we have now got a prompt. Tap on OK. And the debugging is now enabled. So let's move ahead with the next step. If you are still facing any issue, then tap on revoke USB debugging. Use the official USB cable that came with your phone, and use the USB 2.0 port on your PC, and try using any other USB cable, and this will fix the USB issue. With that said, our next course of action is to unlock the bootloader. Do note that this will wipe off all the data, and it might make the warranty null and void as well. If that's well and good, you could refer to a guide and get the job done via the official Me Unlock tool. Once you have unlocked the bootloader, your device will undergo a reset and then boot to the OS. So make sure to re-enable USB debugging once again. Once that is done, you may now download the boot, DTBO, vendor boot and the ROM file from this link. So open this link, and from there get hold of all the required files. We are talking about the new method. You may skip the old method that is no longer required. So from the new method, download the boot, DTBO and the vendor boot and the ROM zip file. The vendor kernel boot is not required. Simply download the boot, DTBO, vendor boot and the recovery file. These 4 files are only required. Let me show you once as well. And this section will be automatically updated. Simply expand the Poco F5 section, and from here, download the boot, DTBO, the recovery and the vendor boot and the ROM file from here. So once you have got all these files, let me show you. Let's transfer the file inside the platform tools directory. So this is the boot, DTBO, vendor boot and recovery. And for passing the plain negative fix, it's recommended to download the APK file as well. And this is the APK file, the plain negative fix APK. Get hold of the APK file from here as well. So now we have the 5 files. The 4 files are from the ROM, and this is the plain negative fix APK file. So copy all the 5 files, and as of now transfer the files inside the platform tools directory. Apart from that, also transfer the ROM zip file, which is this. Let me show you. This is the ROM zip file. Also transfer it inside the platform tools directory as well. So let's transfer it, and it will take just a few seconds. For the ease of convenience, let's rename the file to something shorter. So let's rename it to ROM, and the complete name becomes rom.zip. Once that is done, let's get started with the next method. So now you will have to boot your phone to fast boot mode. So for that, type in adb reboot bootloader and hit enter, and your phone will now reboot into fastboot in a few seconds. So let's just wait, and once it's in the fastboot mode, type in fastboot devices and verify that you're getting an ID. If you're not getting any ID, then you will have to install fastboot drivers. We have made a separate guide and a video on the same. You could refer to our guide and install the drivers. Once you have installed the drivers, right click on the Windows icon and choose Device Manager. Then expand the Android phone section and make sure that the phone is being shown as Android bootloader interface. So this, as well as a serial ID next to fastboot, signify that your PC is able to read the phone in fastboot mode, and we are now good to go ahead. So now that you have installed and in the fastboot mode, you could skip all these steps and now directly go to the new method, which is from here. So again, I'm repeating, after carrying out the step 4, which is rebooting to fastboot mode, skip all the other steps and directly go to the new method. And in the new method, we could now start off with the flashing process. So first off, let's flash the boot img file. Again, verify that the boot DTBO, vendor boot, and the recovery and the ROM file are all there inside the platform tools directory. If that's well and good, so let's now flash all these files. First off, let's flash the boot img file. So let's copy the command from here and paste it in the CMD window. It will take just a few seconds. Once the flashing of boot has been done, you will have to flash the DTBO. So let's wait for the flashing of the boot to get complete. And now let's flash the dtbo.img. After this, you have to flash the vendor boot. So let's flash that as well. And then we'll flash the Evolution X recovery file across both the recovery A and B slots. So as you could see, it's the recovery A and B slot. Let's flash the file across both the slots. And the flashing will now start and could take only a few seconds. And once the flashing has been done, we will now have to reboot our phone to the newly flashed recovery. So type in fastboot reboot recovery and hit enter, and your phone should now reboot into the Evolution X recovery. It should take just a few seconds. So let's just wait for that to happen, and then we'll verify the result as well. So as you could see, we are now inside the recovery. So first off, you will have to do a format data, which will wipe off all the data from your phone. So go to factory reset, format data, factory reset, and format data, and the data wipe is now complete. And now we must do an ADB sideload of the required zip file. So go to apply update, apply from ADB, and you are now in the sideload mode. Let's verify the same. So type in ADB devices and verify that you're getting the sideload keyword. As you could see, we are now getting this keyword, so we could now sideload the ROM zip file. For that, type in ADB sideload file name, which is rom.zip, and hit enter, and the sideloading will now start, which could take up to around 6 to 8 minutes. So let's just wait for that to complete. So guys, the flashing is now complete, and now you will get a prompt asking if you want to flash any other zip file or not. So if you want to flash any other zip file, then you will have to tap on yes. Your phone will reboot to recovery, and then you must do an ADB sideload of the required zip file. On the other hand, if you don't want to flash any other zip file, then tap on no. I am tapping on no, and finally you will now reach the recovery home screen. In either case, whether you want to sideload any other zip file or not, once you have reached the recovery home screen, your last course of action is to do a format data once again, just to be on a safer side. So do a format data factory reset, and once that is done, you will now reboot to the system. So go back, select reboot system now, and your phone will now reboot to the OS. So again, I am repeating, if you want to flash any other zip file, tap on yes and then reboot to the recovery, and then flash the required zip file via ADB sideload. And if you don't want to flash any other zip file, then tap on no. And the final stage should always be to do a format data, and after that reboot to system. Moreover, do note that the first boot up will take up some additional time. That is completely normal and nothing to worry about. From the subsequent time, that will not be the case. So let's wait for at least the boot logo or the boot animation to appear. And as you could see, this is the boot animation. So the flashing has been done successfully. Let's wait for the ROM to boot up. So guys, we are now inside the ROM, as you could see. So let's set it up. As of now, I'm skipping the initial setup process and will take you to the OS directly. If you want, you may go online, connect to Wi-Fi and restore the data from the Google account. But for now, I'm skipping all of this. So let me skip this as well and skip the lock screen as well. And it will take just a few seconds. Let's skip this. And with this, we are now inside the setup screen. Let me slightly increase the brightness. It's quite low. And now As you could see, this is the Evolution X. So I have made a video and shown all the features of the Evolution X ROM. Just let me lower down the volume so you could have a look at all the features from this video as well, as you could see over here in this video. But in my current video, the only aim was to show the flashing steps which I have shown. And now if you want to have a look at more of the features, then you may either check out my second video or simply go to the settings menu and go to the evolver section, and from here you have all the tweaks with regard to the theming engine, the lock screen tweaks, the status bar tweaks, and likewise you could change the QS settings, the notification, gestures, advanced power menu as well. So let me enable this at least, that is enabled, and the few button tweaks and the miscellaneous tweaks as well. So unlimited screen recording, ignore wallpaper, allow application downgrade, miscellaneous tweaks. And so as you could see, these are various tweaks that you could have a look at. I already made a video, so you could refer to my video and have a look at all these features in depth. My main course of action as of now was to simply show you the steps to install the new build of this ROM. Finally guys, let's discuss one more thing. So by default, the ROM passes the plain integrity test, both the basic and device. It will not pass the strong integrity. I'll discuss about that as well, but first let me tell you that the ROM by default passes the basic and device integrity. Let's first verify the same, and for verification you may install the app which is known as the Plain Integrity API Checker app. So let's install the app onto our phone and verify if that happens or not. So transfer the APK file onto your phone, or you may simply install it from Play Store. And let's now try installing the app as well. So the files app is causing a few issues. Let me force stop it and now open the app. Access the internal storage, install the Plain Integrity API Checker app, and then you will also have to connect your phone to Wi-Fi. Make sure you are online, and then launch the API Checker app, hit the check button, and as you could see, we will now be passing the device and basic. So the ROM by default passes both the first and second test. It might take up to a few seconds, and if you are getting this error message, perform a check once again, or you have to wait for around 10 to 15 seconds, and then the check will be successful. And as you could see, the ROM is passing both the device and basic. So in most cases, the ROM will pass both this test, but if the ROM is not passing both these tests, then it will be because the fingerprint which with the ROM is passing the test has been banned by Google. So in that case, it's not a cause of any concern. Simply install this APK. You may check for the latest build of the APK from the XDA website as well. Go to their site and download the latest build of the Plain Integrity Fix APK file. Install this APK file on your phone, and it will then ask you to update the app, do the update, and then remove the data of Play Store and Play Service, and then restart your phone. So again, I'm repeating, by default your ROM should pass both the tests, but if it's not passing both the tests, then install the APK file from here. After installing the APK file, which will ask you to do an update, so hit the update button, and after that remove the data of Play Store and Play Service, and then do a restart. And after the restart, you will again pass both the tests. Now if you want to pass the strong integrity as well, because there have been a few banking and payment app which now require you to pass the strong integrity test as well. So in that case, you will first have to root your phone, and I made a video and a guide on how you could root any custom ROM. So in that case, root your custom ROM, and once you have obtained root on your custom ROM, you may refer to my guide to pass the strong integrity, and then you will pass all the 3 tests as you could see over here in my guide, and I made a video as well. You could then pass all the 3 tests. You will require the following module and an unrevoked keybox XML file, which I have shared in my guide as well. So you could refer to my guide and pass that test as well. But by default, most of the apps simply require the first and second test, and passing the both of these tests will get the job done. But if you want to pass the strong test as well, then obtain root on your custom ROM, and then you may refer to my guide to pass the strong test as well. So guys, on that note, I round up the video. If you have any queries with regard to any of the steps, do let me know in the comment section, and thanks a lot for watching.